How come nobody told me we were using a green screen? Well, maybe, but I thought you just had a featureless white room you did these in. Hi, I'm SCXCR. Video game enthusiast, video maker, musician, vocal noise thespian, and this is my weird autocomplete interview. And yes, outsourcing the interview to autocomplete was a cost-cutting measure. Is it normal when seeing your name written over and over like this to feel your blood pressure spike? What does SCXCR... It's sticking a little. Mean? SCXCR is an acronym for all of the different countries that I have some kind of familial connection to. The S stands for Scotland, the C stands for Canada, the X stands for Shi Dynasty, the second C stands for Corneria, and the R stands for refrigerator. Family reunions can be kind of tough to organize. Do I do anything with this, or do I just... Okay. Why does SCXCR still make videos? God, oh man. You're going for the jugular, huh? I'm pulling this up because I don't know it off the top of my head. I made my channel in December of 2005 and currently have over 1,600 videos on it. This year my channel's gonna turn old enough to legally buy a drink in the US. God, I'm old. That means on average, I've uploaded one video every 4.5 days or so. And there's a reason for that. Since I joined the YouTube Partner Program, if I don't post at least one video every 10 days, my car will explode. And if I don't post a video at least once every 2 weeks, they will forcibly remove my uterus. SCXCR Shaq. This is a little bit of weird trivia about myself. I've mentioned before that I voiced a character in a game called Shaq Fu: A Legend Reborn, which stars Shaquille O'Neal.
Prepare to die!
Sounds like a damn cat screaming from the kitchen of my favorite restaurant.
You'll pay for that!
But what's even more bizarre is that we were very briefly teammates. I'm going to put this down for a minute, this takes a little explaining. In the summer of 2010, the Boston Celtics signed Shaquille O'Neal to what would become his final NBA contract as a player. Around the same time, they were also looking for shooting guard depth, and they tried to sign Scott Suggs out of college. When they tried contacting him, somebody in the Celtics general management team must have had a brain fart or something, because instead of looking for Scott Suggs, they looked for Scott... my last name. I was working a temp job in the office for some bank at the time, and then I came home one day and there was this message saying the Boston Celtics wanted to sign you to the rookie minimum. I didn't think it was real, so like a sarcastic ass, I said, sure, let's do it. I told them my email, and then in a few minutes they sent me a digital version of a contract that I was supposed to read, sign, scan, and send back to them. And I'm looking at this contract thinking, wait, this looks real. So I was confused, but I was also really curious. I signed it, scanned it, and sent it back, so we had that and a verbal agreement. Maybe 5 minutes later, they sent a follow-up message saying, oops, our bad, that wasn't supposed to go to you, and they voided the contract. And that's how for a few glorious minutes, I was on the Boston Celtics at the same time as Shaquille O'Neal. If they'd actually asked me to show up and play for them though, I would not have done it. Fuck the Celtics. Does... oh, this is really stuck on. Cherry Coke sponsor SCXCR. Cherry Coke does tend to show up in a lot of what I do. Almost as often as Bloody Roar. That's it, I referenced it, we can move on. But Coca-Cola refuses to acknowledge my existence. Which would be the dumbest thing they've done recently if not for those crappy AI-generated ads. That being said though, let me tell you about the sponsor of this video. Cherry Coke Duel. Now you can take sports betting to the next logical extreme of betting on people drinking soda. Will some guy hit the over on how long it takes him to finish a glass of Cherry Coke? Can you hit a parlay on someone opening a can of Cherry Coke without getting soda on their fingers and the amount of times that they belch before they finish the can? You can also place prop bets, which, as we all know, are bets on whether someone will give mad props to the soda drinker before their drink is empty. Sign up now with the code and you can make a $100 down payment to receive $10 of betting money. Cherry Coke Duel. You have a problem. And that's what we like about you. SCXCR. Bloody Roar! This was inevitable, wasn't it? The Bloody Roar series is ubiquitous on my YouTube channel, and it's one of the only fighting game series that's managed to hold my attention for more than a month or so. It's also the video game equivalent of The Simpsons because it has predicted a number of real-world events. The corruption and collapse of Tylon Corporation, the corruption and collapse of Enron, Yugo Ogami becoming a prominent, skilled, and feared professional Japanese boxer, multi-time fighter of the year and multi-time undisputed champ Naoya Inoue, the Zoanthrope Liberation Front, the Zanesville animal escape where a private zoo owner liberated a bunch of his animals, the Tabula tablet computers. Messages are there, guys. We just don't realize it until it happens. Why does SCXCR wear gloves? Well, I don't always wear gloves, but there is a reason why I have them on most of the time. You ever watch Trigun? You know, the angel arm? When I have these gloves on, it's to prevent something like that from happening. SCXCR... surgery! I already have a huge playlist of videos on my channel for this, so I'll just give you the quick and dirty version. In 2023, while having dinner with my wife, I slipped and fell into a barrel of toxic waste, which was hit by a space shuttle, which was hit by a man. I was put into a medically induced coma, and they surgically removed everything from the waist down, only to realize they didn't have to do that and then reattach it later. They tried putting a plate in my skull, but I insisted that they use a bowl instead. And if I'm ever on camera and my arms are in the shot and you see this arm shaking a little bit, that's because they had to replace some of the musculature in my forearm and wrist with a series of tubes, one of those pumps for fish tanks, and crafting foam. Specifically, they used that Yayahan Eva foam, so it's pretty lightweight but also surprisingly durable. SCXCR... pets! I and my immediate family have had many pets over the years. Gerbils, fish, a dog, a cat. My wife is also a pet lover, and she currently has a snake, a cat, and a Lagiacrus. And I have 2 pets of my own, a bag of rubber bands and Frozone. We need to keep them in separate parts of the house. They really don't get along yet. Can SCXCR